Hey there, content creators! Ever feel like you're just another face in the crowd on social media? Well, it's time to stand out and own your space in the digital world. I'm here to tell you why having your own website is an absolute game changer. First off, let's talk credibility. A well-crafted website screams professionalism. It's like having a digital business card that works for you 24/7. When potential clients or collaborators see that you have your own corner of the internet, they instantly take you more seriously. Next up, control. Social media platforms are great, but they come with rules and algorithms that can change overnight. With your own website, you're the boss. You decide the layout, the content, and how you engage with your audience. No more worrying about a sudden drop in reach or losing your content if a platform shuts down. But wait, there's more. A website also gives you a place to showcase your portfolio, share your story, and even sell your products or services. Imagine having a sleek, professional hub where people can find everything about you in one place. It's like your personal digital headquarters. Let's not forget about SEO. With a website, you can optimize your content to show up in search engine results. This means more organic traffic and more eyes on your work. Think of it as planting seeds that grow your online presence over time, and it's easier than you think. With platforms like WordPress, Wix, and Squarespace, setting up a website is no longer rocket science. You can customize templates and have your site up and running in no time. So if you're serious about taking your brand to the next level, it's time to invest in your own website. Don't just blend in, stand out and shine. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips. Created by Alex Salas with InVideo Eye.
Basics here. All right, and let's check our audio. We're good. All right, cool. So one of the things I want to do talk to you about is websites, portfolios, and everything else. So if you're looking at setting up your own website, today is like the easiest time to do that. I remember like 10 years ago or more, since I have my website, one of my first websites, which is stylearn.com, that back then you had to like install a bunch of stuff and get things going. Everything is on the cloud today, and you can do it with a few clicks, and you don't need to know any coding whatsoever. So it's pretty cool from that perspective. And I know at times I'm going to be challenging folks because, at this point, I'm busy with clients and doing other things, so it's going to be hard to not do this on a Saturday. But just wanted to make sure you understand the concept. So if we start looking at the concepts, right, because one thing that we can do is be afraid of things we don't know what to do. So it's the sense of curiosity, and I find it funny because in my field, so if you know me, I've been doing a lot of learning and development, training, multimedia design. So anything that has to do for learning content, educational content in the world, in the world of corporate, that's what I do. So it's a good thing. I think I should do the proper thing and put my headphones on. But anyway, I wanted to check that things were good with you and that you had a good time in your life. Want to wish you the best and everything else. And I'm here to help you if we need to know about websites and how to create one. I'm actually going to be working towards one, and like I said, I had two websites. So I have starland.com, and then I'm making a new one. So the new one that I'm making, let's see, we share here. The new one that I'm making is called, it's alexanderdavidsalas.com, and that would be for the purposes of kind of setting my own brand. Before when I started, I set my brand as a business, as my LLC, my company. So now I'm doing it. I'm just starting my own thing. So notice this is a just a bare bones template that I created. And reality, the good thing about this is I didn't have to do anything in terms of putting it together. I mean, all this was done by AI. All this stuff was done by AI. Now, is it right? No, it's not right. But I mean, it gives you something to work with already that is kind of set up. Now, I did edit some of these things here, like those details, like your personal details. But I was able to just type this. You just type a prompt. You just answer a couple of questions, and you get your website. So it's pretty cool. And so the main thing is, okay, why do you need a website, right? So the thing to kind of check on is that, why do you need a website? So obviously one of the easiest answers is you're looking for a job or you're an artist. So you're looking for a job. Let's see. I think we're good in audio. I think. You're looking for a job or an audience, or you're an artist. So artists, what I want to place is like, this is no different than anything else. So however you work, the work that you do, if you're let's say a designer, project manager, you want to set up a website, maybe because you are starting a business, for example. You're starting a business, or you are a learning professional and are having a hard time job seeking. So some jobs, there's a place where the portfolio can make a difference, and in some others, not so much. So the question is, why do I need a website today, right? So like, why do you need a website today? And I'll put this here. You can, and thank you for coming in. Well, actually, I had a friend of mine checking the audio. So if you're here anyway, just drop a comment. I'll be able to see it. The comments are for subscribers, of course, and subscribing is free. I mean, subscribing to YouTube. So I just want to make that as so. If you want a website and you're watching this video after the stream, you can also come in, drop a comment, and just say, hey, yeah, I want it for a professional brand, or I wanted to start a business, or I wanted to sell courses and coach. And the beautiful part of that is today you have a lot more of sources or resources, and which avenue you take or which platform you use, it's going to make a big difference in the impact you can create and the easier you can do it. So that's the main thing. So in this situation, and the reason I asked that question is because I have done those three of those. Actually, the one that I'm doing today, it will be maybe the professional brand. So like my own name, putting my name to something and putting the work on it. I started a business a long time ago, about 10 years ago. Starting a business is nothing complicated. All you have to do is go register an LLC. You're a business, but you need to then do the rest of the work, right? So in selling courses and coaching, done that before, and I have a platform where I do that and start setting some things up. So the setup is different depending on what you're trying to do, is what I'm trying to say. You could use a tool today that you start possibly as a personal site, and then you can always add plugins, and you can always add other things to transform to the other things that you see here. But what I'm trying to say is that there are tools that are specifically built for some of these purposes, and that makes a difference. So if I show you, so if I share if I share here, which I will in a sec, you'll see a difference between um, some of these tools. So let me go there. Let's see. So we have, let me just a sec. I lost a little bit of the layouts here. Oh, there we go. We're down here. Okay. So we have different tools here, and I think I need to share my entire screen. I want to move myself a little bit over here. There we go. That works out better. Good job, Alex. You're doing great. All right, so we go over to, ooh, that's going to get bright. Well, prepare your eyes, my friends. All right, here we go. So we're going to share here Adobe Portfolio. So you have the best layout will be here. There you go. Yeah, make me small, make the thing huge. All right, cool. So we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about Adobe Portfolio, for example. So Adobe Portfolio says, hey, you know, build beautiful websites in minutes, and you can actually do. It's pretty cool. It looks nice. It's been used. The only thing is, look, build a beautiful website with your Creative Cloud subscription, right? So you need a Creative Cloud subscription. So if you're already an Adobe user and you use Adobe apps, then cool. This could be a good solution, and you can use it for that. My only concern is I think you'll be bound to maybe that subscription. So I don't know all the details, and that's the thing you kind of want to look into exactly on their terms, right? So like, okay, if I use Adobe Portfolio, what happens when I don't want to be a Creative Cloud subscriber anymore? Which is interesting because that's exactly what I'm what I'm considering based on the fact that I've been testing all these other AI apps, and that's what happens. So all right, so that's one app, one way to take it. This is the Alexander David Salas website that I was telling you about that I'm going to fix or come up with, and we're going to get into creating a site now for that. So I'm going to teach you how to well, I'm going to show you, not teach you. I'm going to show you, you can say indirectly teach you. Yeah. I'm going to show you the way to create it, and if you follow along, you should be able to create your website with no issues there. What I'm going to be using is something called, well, actually, I have it open, my bad. And we got some domains here. Cool. All right. So this is called my WebIO. So WebIO, 10WebIO. If you go to 10WebIO, you can get there. Let me sign out real quick, because otherwise it will see me. And we'll do that. And so actually, if you go to the description of this video, you have a link there. You go to 10WebIO. So 10WebIO right here. This right here, right? So what this does is creates a WordPress website, but it's automated. It's completely automated. So there's no setups you have to do, not a lot of setups. You create your website from the beginning and you set it up. This will cost you somewhere around $160 a year, which is pretty cool. So this is one of the kind of things to break out to you, is that you do have to, today you don't have to maintain this thing all the time. And that's a beautiful thing, meaning you don't have to do that. But you can create your personal brand and have like a blog site, for example. So WordPress is excellent for that. It's the largest platform for that. And so this guys have figured out a way to automate that process where you don't have to pretty much do anything. I mean, all you have to do is just click, sign in, and get it done. So let's do that, and let's work it there. Now, in the beginning of the video, you saw that there was some kind of inspirational video there or informative video about having a website, and it's right here. Before we jump right into it, and I know, I got to cover all the things because I don't know who's watching and what they need and what not. I will feel that I need to tell you that, right? So why do you need a website? If I was going to answer this, I think there are some great benefits about having your own website. So the main benefit for me is that you're claiming that real estate, right? So you're claiming your personal real estate in the World Wide Web. You're sort of setting up your digital presence. So if you exist already in the world, which you do, right? Um, if you exist already in the world like you do, then you are claiming your spot on the World Wide Web. You're saying, hey, here is me. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. It could also be, it works in a way that has a um, many beneficial purposes. So one big purpose that it serves is that it also can work as a log for you, right? So kind of like the things you're adding on and the things you're putting in go over time and you're not realizing it, but you're creating sort of like a trail that you can check. And one cool thing, and the reason I say that is because, you know, my original website, for example, if you go to my original website, which is starlearn.com, you'll find that I set up the here we go, Style Designs. So you'll find that I set up the website, and I was doing at the time I started as a blog, right? So I started as a blog, and you know, this is back 2014 or something like that. Started writing articles and stuff like that, and I got involved in the industry and whatnot. But the cool thing is you can go back. I can go back and read what I wrote back then, and it's like, okay, wow, I was missing some things, or oh, hey, I was right about some things. The other part is I stood in a lot of e-learning challenges. So I'm an e-learning developer, meaning developing e-learning courses. I do instructional design. I do L&D in general, you know, corporate learning in general. And I can also see, you know, okay, cool. I made I forgot I made this sample, or I forgot that, you know, like I made this sample. Oh, that's right. I did make a sample of a tank and whatnot. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome, right? So like, oh, I did that, and that was like a quiz test or something. So I did some quick samples, and I thought it was, you know, you look at that stuff, and then you look at the stuff you do today, and hopefully there's some progress you've seen. So, and I've seen that. So, you know, I think that's a rewarding thing. Primarily in terms of business, obviously, if you the biggest impact you have right now is that, you know, people can maybe look you up by name, or people maybe look you up by the stuff you do, and there you pop up, right? Um, so those are I think main benefits of doing that. One of the main concerns that people will have, let's say for designers, I think not so much designers, but in technically speaking, in general, learning people, so like corporate learning people, we're just regular folks, right? I mean, I think we're just regular folks, pretty much. You go to, you know, you kind of end up in L&D. Today, it's different though. A lot of people go and there's so many degrees, so many things. But when I was starting, I was like, I want to do training. And how do I do training? I don't know. How do I? So I looked up Department of Labor, the Department of Labor Occupational Handbook, because I was in the military. So for me, it was everything like, okay, it's got to be some kind of regulation, instruction, something. And so then I found organizations and stuff like that. Oh, okay. And then I started seeing things, and that's how I got involved. Today, you can just directly think, I'm going to be this. And maybe you do it through a degree, or maybe you do it through things like this, like you watch YouTube and you set your stuff up. All right. So those are the benefits of creating a website. If I was going to think of any cons, any things you don't want to consider, or it can be a pain in the butt for creating a website, well, there's a cost to it. Can you have it free? Yeah, you can. The one thing I say is, okay, if you do the free route, there's more work. And if you do just pay a little bit, then your life is easy. So one tip that I can give you in terms of one thing that I can give you, and about that is, if you do free, you know, Google has set up Google Sites. Sites.google is probably one of the easy free stuff. Now there are some free. Um, there are some many. There are many free apps, or they say they're free, but you got to be careful with those. So because they will have all their branding on top of you. So for example, like right now, I'm using the free version of StreamYard. You can see it. So I was at like that way. No, it's this way. You can see it there, and so yeah, you have their branding and stuff like that. So if you use an app that says, "Oh yeah, free, create your website for free," well, trust me, a lot of their branding and all that stuff is going to be there. And then what happens is they walk you through a process. They walk you through a funnel where you start spending more money, and some of the money can end up being more than $500 a year. So just do your research. Is what I would say. All right. And so for that, I'll cover this thing. So let's cover now. So we talked about the purpose so far. We talked about some of those details, how easy it is, and how you can do it. Let's discuss then the structure. So how is that structure? How should that structure be in terms of creating your portfolio? I have a perspective on that. I think I like to think more on the business side of things. And but regardless of the case, what I would say is, from my perspective, it's no different than what you do as an instructional designer or any type of designer. You do the best for the clients. You do the best for the user. So you want to absolutely take a look. Think about the person that's visiting your site, the visitor, not so much what you want to show, right, about it. So it's a little challenging there. It's a little tricky, but it's a good approach. It works. As of today, I'm going to put it this way, and I'm not going to not to claim anything, too crazy, but I've been accused of several things. Of claiming too much. Yeah, claiming that I do a lot of cool stuff. Nah, it's the main thing here is this. Today, like I said, I set up this website 10, 11 years ago. Obviously I updated it a few times here and there. But there's a structure to it. The structure's still there. What needs to be changed is the aesthetics and some of the backgrounds and colors and stuff like that. This is like way too bright today. And I love the fact that everything else has like, dark themes. So it's not so hard on the eyes, right? So, and then if you notice, this is just packed with content, quick info, and content. So the main thing is that I'm not saying this is great and this is the best. I need to update it. That's why I'm doing some things. But today I'm working from a bare bones capability, so you can create your own website. But there's a structure you should follow. So the structure is always, you got a hero. This is it part right here. It's called the hero. It's a marketing term to say, hey, this is the thing that catches attention, gets you going. Doesn't have to be anything moving or emotion. And I just got away with putting a GIF here in the background. Most websites, if you notice, they'll have like they'll have a background like that, some kind of image background or something like that. A lot of images today are very designed to mobile, and they have a lot of panels and stuff like that you don't see. So the question here in Stearns Lay is what needs to happen in the front and in your homepage when people land. What is it that you want to focus on? So it varies, right? Because if you're saying, well, I'm doing a personal brand, I'm doing my personal brand, professional brand, a lot of people go with the process of, oh yeah, this is me. Hi, my name is this and this and that, and I do this. I'm cool and this and that. Okay, and if that works, that's cool. The only thing is, let's say, for example, in the case of getting a job, you want to think about the person that is coming to that website potentially. So if you apply for a job, and we're talking a regular corporate job, why would that person go to your website? Yeah, you can say, well, I made a resume and I put my link on the resume. Okay, cool, smart. Somebody went to my LinkedIn profile and they click on the link to the website. Okay, cool. That's awesome too. The the question then is, what do you want them to do when they get to your website? So what do you want them to see? Do you want them to spend a bunch of time reading about you, looking at text about something, or do you want to catch their attention right away? And I would say that the latter is what you want to do, right? So the main thing, and I think if you're a geek like me in terms of instructional design or uh, the kitchen of content creation, I think Gagne got it, right, which is like, gain attention. You got to get attention first. You can't learn without attention. Now, attention doesn't mean, I don't know, a teacher. Back in the day, I was in a Catholic school a long time ago. Doesn't mean a nun, whacking you with a ruler. I mean, it makes you pay attention. And I used to talk a lot in classroom. But anyway, yeah, it's like, what do you want them to do? What do you want to get there to do, and why would they go there? So, like a hiring manager won't go to your website. They're super busy. In most cases, a lot of hiring managers are meeting after meeting after meeting. And they have a busy life. And in the case of hiring, you got to think that hiring is just exhausting, right? So it is exhausting. It's like, it's like, okay, 1,000 people apply. And thankfully, people today have help. So they got the recruiter screen the process. Then they got that. And by the time it gets to the manager, maybe it's like 4, 5 people, maybe. But still, that means, okay, is that manager going to go see 5 websites? Does that manager care about seeing websites? I don't know. One thing I can tell you, though, is that a lot of jobs today, many jobs today, are wanting to see a portfolio. So the other part of the portfolio that I didn't mention to you, because we talked about benefits, but we didn't talk about, okay, purpose. The other part of the portfolio is basically showing what you can do. That's it. It's not enough. It used to be enough for you to talk about it. Oh yeah, I do this, I do that. I've been doing it for 25 years. Okay, cool. What can you do? Do you make what do you make? What do you make? Right? So that could be a challenge. That could be a challenge for a lot of people because in many cases, what happens is, oh, I've done all my stuff proprietary. It's proprietary. I work for somebody else. I can. Well, you still got nothing to show. It's the thing, right? So you have nothing to show, and that can be an issue. So imagine someone knocks on your door, and they're super nice, and they look professional, and knock on your door, right? And they go, "Hey, how's it going? I'm the greatest thing." And this happened to you before. You have a salesperson knocking on your door. Hey, I noticed that this and that and this and that, right? Okay, cool. Let me take a look at the product. Well, it's proprietary, right? So that's the thing you want to think about. All right, so let's get into creating your first website here. And we're going to use 10web.io. If you check the links in the description again, you'll have a link to 10web.io, and you can get there. So there's a link in the description. Make sure you catch it, 10web.io. And we're going to create one website with 10web.io. So we'll go here. If we are on 10web.io, I'm going to share my screen. I get this. That will be a helpful thing. And I'm going to walk you through the whole process here. And then from there, I'll go and edit my own website. But I think it's cool that I need to show you that that workflow, how that workflow goes. So I'm over here in 10web.io. When you land there, obviously, I was in pricing. So here's 10web.io. There's pricing. Remember to go link in the description for 10web.io, and you'll get there easier. It is an affiliate link, so it does help me and the channel, but again, it's not creating any more. It's giving you the same prices you see here. It might also give you offers, discount offers later on, which is the benefit. And I recommend that you just do this, the AI starter. So you can start for free, by the way. So it could be a free trial, and that's what we're going to do today. But definitely, if you decide to go with this, just do your AI starter. Then I'll give you some tips specifically about these things. But there are some great benefits here. I'm going to cover this for you real quick, give you a quick overview of these so you understand what they are. And I apologize if you're already an expert, you already know this stuff like I do, so to speak. Not that I'm an expert. I'm not a web expert, but I dabble. So I just got to cover because it's important for people that are doing this for the first time, right? So a few things I want to talk about. So the cool thing here to notice is that it uses Elementor. So you have access to Elementor, which is a great web building platform. It's all drag and drop, and it's almost like using PowerPoint. You just click, edit, boom, here you go. So that's a great part. The awesome part about this is using the Elementor. It also offers the Elementor AI assistant, and then you have the AI image generation, and it's unlimited. So, I mean, I'm telling you, the world is a lot easier today. So, if we weren't talking about AI image generation, then you'll be saying, okay, when I gotta upload, I gotta get some pictures of this and pictures of that and upload that. So it'll save you time in some things. Obviously, it's not gonna make a picture of you. Well, not yet, but you know what I mean. All right, so free custom domain. So that's pretty cool. You have a free custom domain, and you can have it up to $30 there. We'll go into the details of that a little later, so we make sure that you're not spending a lot of money because domains are not that domains are not that expensive, and actually, domains will be probably around 12, $15 a year in some respects. So that's what a domain. What is a domain? Domain is the actual .com, dot whatever that you get that is yours, right? So if I got alexanderdavidsalas.com, that nobody else can get that, and that's what you can do, right? So some things to think about for you. Now it could be challenging to get your name. For example, alexandersalas.com. I cannot get that because that's already taken. So that was a challenge there, and I think that's the case still. But a domain is simply that, right? So apparently there is a Alexander Salas somewhere, maybe in Chile, Mexico, or something like that, and hablas español. He speaks Spanish. All right, cool. All right, so back to the domain. Domain. Where did I go? Oh, okay. My apologies. I guess I no, it's right here. So many tabs, so little time. All right, so we got that detail, the custom domain. That's gonna be obviously important because you don't want to be telling people, hey, yeah, sure, go to my website. It's 10.135. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So you want your own domain there. Um, Great. One thing I can say about this is the service stats, the uptime, meaning how ready your website is, how reliable it is. Pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Of course, you get the explanation here of all these things. I'm just gonna quickly hit you that. It does have a limit of 10,000 visitors. So if you're not, I mean, unless you're famous, it's not gonna be an issue, I think. Now, hopefully, your God can bless you, and you can get more than 10,000 visits a month. You'll be good. All right. So this is great. SSD storage, solid state drive. So that's the way to have a drive today. You don't want anything, mechanic running around. 10 gigabytes, right? So you got plenty of storage. Automated one-click migration. This is amazing. This is awesome. Yeah, you can use this if you already have. So in your case, for example, you may have a website already that's kind of old, sitting somewhere else in WordPress. With one click, you can bring that into the platform here. This is by far one of the most important things right here, the SSL certificate. So secure socket layer, SSL. The secure socket layer certificate is a trust thing, and it's what makes the website trusty. You know, that could be trusted. Um, I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. When you go to a website and Chrome goes, "Hey," it puts like a big red thing on the URL here, not secure, right? So that's basically what that is. So the SSL is what secures your website or makes it credible as a real website and not a fishy thing or somebody trying to do a bad actor. Multi-site support not supported, of course, and that just means you only get one site on this. And then the rest of the stuff here is also great. So 90 plus page speed score, yes, and search engine optimization. These are the important things. These are super important things. So the search engine optimization, SEO, that's basically how you can rank up on your search engines and things like that. And then all that means is you're putting terms and words, keywords on your website setup that will give you that can set you up that way. So make sure that you, at the very least, there's 3 components here that are essential. The drag and drop editor will make your life a lot easier. There's no coding. There's nothing else you got to do. The AI assistant is a very super nice touch, and you get into that. But the key components of any website, of any app that you go, will be the free custom domain and the SSL. For sure, the SSL. SSD storage is a great technical detail, so make sure you look at that. And obviously the uptime, nobody can, because it's using Google Cloud performance hosting. So there are some terms that I want you to sort of consider there. The terms are host, internet provider, and stuff like that. So let me, so host, so they are host. There's internet service provider, ISP. So there's a couple of terms that you want to Google to learn where they fit in the picture. Because basically what you're doing is you are buying a little bit of real estate in a server somewhere from someone that owns it. So whether it's WordPress, whether it's 10web.io, whether it's Squarespace, GoDaddy, and all that stuff, those guys are the internet service providers, and they also host, and they provide all the services. That's what the business is. So I'm not here to tell you, hey, 10web.io is the best thing you can do. I'm pretty sure at this point all the other apps have kind of caught up in the sense of doing that. What I want to tell you is you're not seeing all the features. Here are the rest of the features, right? And there's some cool things in here to do. And again, it will cost you only $13 a month. It was like $156 a year. So for less than $160, you get that. Let's get started for free. I click there, get started for free. So if you're in 10web.io, you can get started with me. Okay? And this is the coolest thing you're going to see. So this is the setup where, you'll get to use AI to create your website. So there are 3 different options here you want to look at, right? So create new with AI. We'll be using that. If you already have something that's non-WordPress, so if you created some other thing that is not in WordPress, i.e. Squarespace or GoDaddy, something like that. Well, a GoDaddy doesn't have WordPress. That's the one thing to clarify. Because I use, for example, I use HostGator, right? So HostGator, which is another host back in the day, and they offer some good things too. I wouldn't go to HostGator today. This is my opinion now, because they changed some things, and I don't like them. So there's a lot of, to be honest, it's just a lot of marketing. They throw a lot of marketing once you're in. So once you sign in now, you're getting bombarded with like options and you're getting bombarded with options and um, say marketing and stuff like that. So I would. That's just my thought. Hope it helps. And then migrate a WordPress. Remember that one-click WordPress migration? There it is. So the assumption here is that you don't have anything. You're starting from scratch, and here we go. One last thing I will tell you is don't forget about the little link down here that is installing a blank WordPress website, and that will be helpful if you have your own, setup. Let's say this is a really rare one. You want to start from scratch in one of the things. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. Here we go. Boom. Okay, so very easy thing. I'm gonna ask us a couple of questions. I want to create an informational website. I want to create a website. I want to create a website with an online store, right? So I want to create an informational website. I want to create a website with an online store. Those are the two differences that I was telling you in the beginning. Why? Because if you go this way, it's gonna set you up with a website, but it's also gonna cover things like e-commerce. And we'll get in a little detail. Today, let's go you can start with informational and then add that stuff later. So create informational website, and then at the bottom you got next and back. So it's kind of like a new learning thing. Actually, I believe, let me change my layout. As a matter of fact, let's see. No, that's not the one I want. Not the one I want. Okay, I think this is better now. Yeah, the reason being is because you have the back button down here too, and that means you can go back a step. So informational website next. So this guided process is just great, and then you'll have it here. Please select your business type. Okay, so when you select your business type, you'll say, you pick it. There are different categories here you can pick. Pick the best one that's for you. What I want to make sure you understand is when it looks at this, it's going to select images, language, and layout. Layout will change a little bit, but the most things are going to change is like English, language, images that it's going to use to create for that. So let's say your online trainings or learning different things, right? So online trainings is if you want to start setting up like a course thing, you're going to sell in courses, counseling services, you're going to be consulting and things like that, and you got so many other there's life coach. So pick the one that fits you. I'm going to pick this one that's called e-learning. It's probably well-fitting for most people here in the corporate learning world, right? So e-learning, boom, here we go. Next. Okay, so now you see how it's saying school name? So based on the learning, it went and said, oh, school name, cool. Well, you're not setting up a school, are you? Meaning, and when we say a school is to like sell courses online. If you are selling courses, then make sure you go there. But if you're not, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. Let's change this up a bit. So this happened to me when I created my first website. And I think on the first video that I did this, you can see it. But here you got learning blog. This is probably the best way to start because it's going to send you up with like a blog thing. And you can change the homepage anytime. So learning blog. Let's go next. And so now it says, okay, enter the blog name, describe your blog, right? So go ahead and type that in as you wish, right? So I'm going to go Alex Adventures, right? Or if it's blog, it's Alex Adventures. Because I've done a lot of professional stuff already. So I'm like, oh, I want to do something fun. Let's think about stores. Let's think about, training success. So that will be if you're a business, and if it's your name, then do your name, right? So Joe Vander try a name that is not so well known, and then you describe your blog. Cool. The one thing I want you to understand in this one too is, um, take this seriously. If you type this one, just describe, sharing insights and all that, because the AI is going to use that to create your website. So sharing insights of corporate learning and business performance. Okay, next question you have is the description. Do you own a domain for your website? Most of you are not going to own one. The only thing is that this question may lead to like offering you one, but that's fine. Go ahead and say no, I do not have a domain. So now here you can say, okay, well, I wanna. It's gonna ask you to search for one. So for example, remember we talked about AlexanderSalas.com. I put that in there. It hasn't told me yet anything, but that's not gonna work. It's gonna be like, no, it's not available, but this is available. So we're gonna leave it there. You see what happens. Here is your step 3. So the title, the blog description, and the categories, right? So the title, it's setting up the first blog post, right? How to create your online portfolio. Boom. And then it's super easy to create a website today. So simple things you can put in there. And then your category, right? So category in blogs, very important, because it creates a link that condenses posts and also provides a good backup or a good lead for SEO, so search engine optimization. So let's say in a category personal brand. Boom, personal or professional brand. Personal brand, that's fine. Okay, so once you've done all this, remember we went through the steps. I'm gonna go back real quick. 1 step, 2 step. Oh man, I went too far. Did I go too far? No, okay, good. It's like, what's your type of business? So blog, sharing insights, good. Do you own the domain for your website? No. There's that choice I made, and then next, and that's where I'm at. Okay, so that's where we are. We are in the last step. There's 3 steps, right, in the blog post. So if you're ready, go ahead and click generate. Here we go. Your website is waiting for you. Da da da. And now you need to log in. So I'm gonna log in with some clandestine, some other thing. Login. You go ahead and log in the way you want to log in. Google works great if you want it. You can also use your own email or any other email. You know how to sign up for things, right? So go ahead and do that. I'm going to stop sharing real quick, just for a minute, so I can log into that. Security, and let's see where we're at with that. So, as you're going through this process, once you sign in, it's going to be very, 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 very sleek, very smooth. Once you sign in, it goes through the process. So let's see what happens next. So I'm looking at the screen. Okay, there we are. So, all right. So we have, it's going through this process now. So it's telling you everything that's going to happen, and you'll get that. And I guess the only cool thing we can do here at this point is like play some of this cool, what do you call it? Music from StreamYard. Little techno. Okay. All right. We're finalizing, folks. Edit. All right. Let me start the music. Didn't last too long. Preview and edit. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So there's your preview and edit, and you already have a website. You see that? Look at this. So it's done already a bunch of different pages. Okay. Personal brand. You see the things that we put into the background. There you go. How to create your online portfolio reflects your personal brand. All right. How to create your online portfolio. All right. So it's giving you already one blog post. It's also giving you this. Um, also it's like embedded some advertising stuff. So you got your average blog 2-column layout here, and you already got posts with your images and your writing on the post on the blog. So that's it. And then at the bottom, if you look at your interface, you have mobile you can use. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. So you see how it says in mobile, and that is super important because you want something that is, as we call it in web design, something that is um, responsive. So responsive meaning that if someone's watching it on any device, the layout will remain good and visible and do that. And there's a lot more to responsive, obviously, but this is the main thing you want to look at that. Not only that, I will give you this. If you don't like your website, you can go ahead and click regenerate, and boom, there it is. So it'll give you another result, another process. So Joe Vander says, I'm ready to go. And you have, so the domain, let's see what it did there. Alexander-salas.com is the domain. Of course, that didn't make any sense because I gave it a different name, but just showing you that one thing is you can make mistakes and you can also do that. Now, if you look over here on the bottom right, you have ability to make a quick customization. So let's say you didn't like that color. You didn't love the color, so you'll go here and then save. And then you get that. And then you get this, right? So what is this app doing? Boy, do they want to trap you into buying more stuff. Yeah, well, every app is doing that today. Can't do much. But I can tell you they're not as bad as HostGator. At least they do it elegantly. All right, we talked about many things today. Here is now where we are. We're deep into our first website, and you have your interface for your you got your interface for your from Elementor. So anything here you can click, right, and look at from that perspective. So if you have this to change and use the editor, you will need that. Now, I thought it was my idea when I looked at this in the beginning that the editor was included in the package. Yeah, so it's not included in your free trial. My bad. I forgot that we chose a free trial. So so what I'm going to do, my bad. What I'm going to do is take this, get out of here and get on with it. Let me go to the dashboard real quick, see some things, because I probably need to delete all the stuff later. There we go. So you got a dashboard. Yeah, it brings that in. Okay, maybe I need to show you that part, the dashboard. That'll be a cool thing. So remember the whole thing about the custom, get your free domain, your free custom domain in for up to $30 and whatnot. So when you click that, then let's look at the domain for Joe. A real domain, right? So joevandersize.com. Now keep in mind a couple of things. The URLs have changed. They're now available in so many ways. Everybody is pretty familiar with .com, but the URLs are now, you got .com, you got .club, .store, .io, whatever. So they have a purpose, not a specific purpose. So it may not help you to do .com unless you want to do commerce. That's one point I can put out there. So if you're ever going to sell, I put .com on mine because at the time I was thinking a little old school. But if you wanted to do, .org is related to nonprofits and organizations that do things for society. What are the other ones that you can think of? .net. It's just that you're in the internet. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters in terms of the purpose. And that's the conversation we had in the beginning. I'm going to go with .com and see what happens. You're going to search, and then it's going to go, well, it's available, it's not available. So here you go, Joe Vandersize, exact match, boom, get it. Now, you don't, in your case, you may not have that. Remember I told you there's so many different URLs? Well, there they are. And a URL, or domain, the URL specifically is a universal, it's called the Universal Resource Locator. So it's how you can be found on the web with regular language, not just IP addresses. All right, so you are in here, you got to see that and experience it, cool. And my domains portfolio, this is just showing you a dashboard or your portfolio and your things. I'm going to get out of here and get out of there. And let's see, get out of that one. So you can stay where you are right now. I'm just gonna switch over to my side. So this is the dashboard look actually that you will see, and check your email because you'll need to verify. So whatever email you use to sign in, you'll need to verify the account for security purposes. So do that. All right, so at this point you have created your website, and this is my friendly video that I showed in the beginning, created with InVideo.io, link in the description. You just add a prompt. This is basically the prompt. I just told it something like, give me a video why people need a website today, and it created the whole video that way. So check it out, pretty cool. There are some videos also here in the channel that you can love. Hit like and subscribe if you can. And just because you're here, by the way, I'm going to put in a little bit of a GIF, a little bit of a appreciation here, and I'll put it on the banner so you can read it and go with that. But we're ready to play here on this 10web.io. I'm gonna get out of my website, log into my thing. Oh, I think I'm using I'm using, step out for a sec. I'm using my other authentication, so let me fix that. Right. All right. Take a few minutes here just to get back on my side of things, and we'll start editing the website. So with 10web.io, it's pretty easy like that. You can set yourself up pretty easy and get going. And I think it's something, like I say, it's super easy to get going and get started. So it was great that today you could just do that with a website creator like that. And it kind of helps when you can find your website. Apparently I had an issue here with 10web where I logged into the other, and now I can find it. Oh, well, problems never happen, do they? Yeah. We'll fix that in a sec here. This is the time when you were watching TV back in the day, and people put what is it technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. Come back temporarily. Let's see, where are you, buddy? Brand, yeah, there you go. Gotta throw some jams in here, 'cause this was called night driving. Something that may be very dangerous today. Night driving. I just don't know why would you night drive. Now first is this one. Okay. Okay, so if you're wondering what's happening, just checking a couple of things out because the dash, my gameplay here. Hopefully I can go back and just kind of cut this off from the video part, but if I didn't, my apologies. If I couldn't. And share my screen. Here we are. Okay, now we're cooking. Let's go. Like I like to cook. All right, so remember here the custom domain offer. That's the thing you look for. And we'll show you everything here. So what you're looking at here is the dashboard. This is my actual original site. This is what I'm going to fix today. You should already have your own website that you can get into. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the dashboard. You can have different websites here. For example, if I needed to add a website on this account, which is the account, this is my website that is controlling the Alexander Davis site. And because here's a WordPress account, and it's visible. So you'll have different elements here that are going to be available. Because again, like I said, it's using WordPress. So let's make you familiar with the WordPress dashboard. And get that. So in the WordPress dashboard, you will see in the back end all this stuff that has control the website, create posts, and do that. So this is basically how you add things to your website if you want to do it from WordPress. From our perspective, if we go back in here, you can actually do the preview, which is already here. So that's what I'm trying to fix and change. And if you are here, then you'll see some details on your website. Right? So you'll see, most likely, you'll see the URL, you'll see the CDN status is the same one. So CDN is about it's your content delivery network. So it's a quick way to really optimize your materials. Optimize your materials, meaning what you're hosting, your pictures, your videos, and stuff like that. So it's something you may want to look up and find out what you do there. Recommendations I have for you in terms of things is you definitely want to look at this whole two-factor authentication. But again, when you're here on a free trial, you're not going to be able to, you are not going to be able to edit anything of that specific property because you have to purchase. This is, like I said, it's $156 a year. Very simple to look at in terms of months. It's $15 a month. So it sounds right. You don't have your custom domain yet. But you can, like I said, you can get a free one. So you can get a free one up to $30. So we covered those details there. If you have any questions, drop them here. Another thing to do is I need to get rid of this music stuff. There you go. All right. So the other thing to do is you got a internal info here. The other thing to do is just to start creating some stuff. I'm gonna cover a couple of things for you here on the side. So I clicked on navigation, for example. So you'll see your navigation here, menu items, a header. So this is the actual navigation menu that you can create more links and stuff like that in your website. But I think the main thing you want to do first is just get in here and edit your website. And the rest of this is, e-commerce is going to get you into setting up for stores. Backups are very needed, so you definitely want to set that up because then what happens, you'll lose whatever you have done today. So let's say you did something today, you bought the product, you did a bunch of stuff today. Something happens next week where the system crashes, you don't want to lose that. So backups is what you need to do. You know what backups are. If you don't, then it'll save a copy of your website so you can restore the website immediately. If there's a problem, you get an email and says, hey, your website's down, nobody can see it, blah blah blah. Okay, so super important to you for to think about those things. And in terms of anything else, you can navigate and find all the small details there. I'm gonna go here and check it out. Boom. Okay. And when you click on that, it takes you into the editing WordPress dashboard. Okay. So at the top, this is using WordPress. Then you have the cache. So cache is a little place where things are held. So and it gets a little heavy, and then it may not be providing the latest updated information. So definitely set up something so you can clean the cache. Outside of that, let's see, customization and then edit with 10 Web Builder. If you go to edit with 10 Web Builder, it takes you into Elementor, which is what I want you to go, what I want you to see. And then you'll see the cool setup with Elementor, right? So in terms of fixing my website, there's a few things I need to do in terms of layout, and I want to show you. I'm not going to do them all today, but I'm going to show you exactly my plan for it, right? So we talked before that there's a hero needed. So there's two elements here. One is the image. And if you notice, I selected the image, and here it is. And you can change your image for size. This is the resolution. So resolution, obviously, you don't want it to be 300 by 300 because it's going to be an issue. The one thing you want to focus on in images is that the file size needs to not be so big, because that will make your website, that will give you loading problems. I don't know if you've seen those websites where it's like you see the top half of the image loading slowly down. That's basically what creates this problem. So you have stylings. So in Elementor, you have three things: content, right? Editing the content. Oh, I don't like that image. Let me change it. Boom, and go change to another image. You'll notice here, this is the media library of WordPress. It has all this freaking pictures that are added here. Well, this is because a lot of AI generated images, right? And you can get rid of those if you want to, and that's fine. That's basically how the system uses. But if you think about the AI power here, what it did is basically it looked at your input, it looked at that, and then went, okay, cool, let me go grab all those images. Boom, I got this template, bam, and just threw it together. So it said hero image. It put company names perhaps that I work for, right? So what it wants you to kind of do. And this is all click and change. So one thing I noticed as well with Elementor to get used to, you click in here, you can backspace, but also one of the best ways probably is just to go here and do it from here. So, if I do this, I say, oh, Dale, boom, bam, 3 years of experience, and here, Centene, bam, right? So I'm putting the companies I worked for in the past. 3 years of experience, or 4 years of experience, boom, right? So you could do that. Now, would I use this approach in the end? I don't know. That's kind of like a resume type of thing. What I will probably do here is maybe you add clients if you have clients, or skills. If you have skills, put those skills, right? So, e-learning developer, instructional designer, LMS administrator, boom, and set those up. Color-wise and templates, need to change some things, but all that can be set with Elementor as you go through here. So learn facilitator and designer, that, and then another opportunity for images and things like that. So it's emphasizing that quite a bit, but doesn't mean you have to stay with everything you see here, right? So if you notice, there's quite a bit of scrolling down, right? So my recommendation to you is the following. As you go in here, the one thing to do is think about the first thing people want to see. obviously maybe not me, but you want to put an image here that catches the eye and represents what you're doing. So that could be just, it may not be an image, it might just be some text and say, hey, welcome. Not welcome. You didn't do that. That's not a good thing. It's not the old school. But, creative designs by so and so. State the thing that you want to do for the person that is visiting the website. There it is. That's my note, my ending note. State the thing that you offer that the person visiting will care about. Instructional design, e-learning course development, all that. Right? Creating and facilitating learning solutions, expertise, and all that. That's great, but you don't have to keep everything. So, for example, here I will change this where I don't want. I probably this is not what I'm gonna do, and I can use some. Oh, and you can use AI if you got the Pro. If you have the Pro thing. So I don't know if. Well, let me show you an example of what it may look like. I think that's interesting. Let's see. Add a background of multimedia objects in a VR world with fantastic creatures. All right, and so I did that there. Boom. That I can generate, and then you can also this is a 2:3, this is a 3:2. This is the aspect ratios. So if you think of aspect ratios, for example, if you like on LinkedIn or Insta, the 1-to-1, the square is one port, one ratio to expand. I like that though. That's pretty cool. The AI can do that. You're going to extend or change your aspect ratio. The image resolution, you can actually increase it. Interesting tools here. And then remove background, which is amazing too. So if you added a picture that has basic background or something like that, it could actually, the AI background removal is just, to me, is super impressive. Let's see what happens if I do this part here. All right. Got some, should we go back to adding some music there, folks? This one's called Daydreaming. Oh, okay, well, that's So there's the AI components here. starting with the header, you'll have some, I'm assuming some pages here. I'm going to save this. There you go. So this is the header. We got contact info. When you look at contact, you're looking at all the different setups You make it available for people to see, people that use screen readers, and right. So, and you can have more detail to that. I'm just going real quick to things here, and it will help to also add image, title, or HTML. Some of those details. Right now, captions you don't need. Description that I need to check on. Obviously, it's gonna take a few more hours, but we have made some great progress today. The main thing is, look, you can use save your project for, of course, change your info. I'm going to continue to edit this in other sessions, but right now we are in a good place where you can see that you can create your own website quick and easy with 10web.io, using 10web.io. You can also use, again, like we said, Adobe Portfolio if you have your Creative Cloud, but remember there might be some conflict there if you try to leave the Creative Cloud subscription. Well, besides anything else, drop any questions in the comments. I get notified. I will answer them, and you can check out videos that I put. I put a description, links in the description for the original video I did for 10web.io and any other platforms that you look at. Other options as well will be Squarespace, but again, just keep in mind the things I mentioned to you before. It's okay to start with a website that maybe has the branding. If you're just doing some personal thing, you just want to put your stuff somewhere and have it. But if you want your own custom domain, which should be the nice way to do it, you want people to see your domain and have the brand, right? So, Rita Williams, Joe Carlone.com, whatever, right? That is what you want to do. And then from there, you have your own place on the web and something you can always drop a link to, a QR code on your presentations, on your websites. If you go to conferences or you do business presentations, that is what you want to do. All right, cool. So I hope this helps you. Went a little bit, no, not long. We wanted to go for 90 minutes. It's just right at the point where things can be really, really, really brain mesh. And I hope it helps you. Just remember also as well that you can take opportunity right now, the Beyond course in corepraxis.com, corepraxis.com. And maybe I should fix that, right? So, yeah, in corepraxis.com, go to corepraxis.com. I'm going to start adding some courses and all these things, including probably a good way to do do portfolios in this way. And you can take the Beyond course. Beyond is a animated video platform that does a lot of cool things, and there's some great creative stuff you can do with it. I'll show you a quick sample here.
Compliance alert, compliance alert. Your cybersecurity course is due now.
Sorry about that. Hello there. My name is Compliance Hero, and I'm here to save you from boredom.
Oh yeah? Saving me from boredom? Here we go again.
Well, yeah, that's actually what I do. I'm freaking Compliance Hero, man. You don't believe me? What's...
It is I, Siberian. Prepare to be incompliant.
You'll never win, Siberian. I'm here.
Well, don't...
Wow, you can really see my acting chops on that one. So yeah, you can create cool animated videos with Beyond, and you can take the course with me and provide your samples. That's the main difference of what I do is you create something, and I take a look at it and give you feedback, one-on-one feedback. Some people have done some great jobs, especially Nicola Piver, which I did drop a LinkedIn post about this week actually, I think. Well, it's something cool to check out. But anyway, hey, listen, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, whether you were watching here, a few people stepped in on the live stream, and then some others you may watch afterwards. If this helps you out, go ahead and drop a comment. If you have questions, drop a comment. Any other questions that you have, drop a comment, and I'll try to answer the questions that you have, and or give you some good guidance or any type of pathway that you want to go to. All right. So that's all for me. We'll see you on the next one. Check out the videos. You may want to subscribe. It's free, and you'll have a good time. Bye-bye.